Hello, today I want to talk to you about how you can get unstuck in your health journey and dive a little bit into why you're feeling stuck and why it always feels, like we're starting a journey and then maybe having to start over. And it just feels like this constant cycle that we're going through, and maybe you're questioning whether or not you'll ever be able to make the changes that you want to see in your life. I want to dive into why that is and how we can solve that problem. So, one of the things that I teach in my program with clients is we talk and start with identifying our triggers and raising awareness around what our current beliefs are regarding health and wellness, and what eating healthy means to us, what looking healthy means to us. And we start there because our brain, on a psychology level, our brain is designed to fulfill the truths that we believe to be true, and all of our current beliefs that we have. And the thing with starting a new diet or workout plan, it's all great, but if you are one of those people who has tried multiple diets and programs, maybe you've stuck with them for a little bit, maybe you've gotten results, but then you end up reverting back to old habits, or an event happens and it totally derails you and you fall off track. Then this is because your underlying beliefs have do not align with the direction that you're trying to head with whatever diet or workout program that you're trying to follow, which is why it's so important to take that extra step to identify these things and really be super clear on that, because we live life on autopilot. Like, most of the decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis, we do out of habit. So if you think about when you're driving home, and let's say you're driving home from work and all of a sudden you pull up into the driveway, and then you realize you're how did I even get home? I wasn't even paying attention. That's what it means, because if everything's so automatic, your brain is just doing what it already knows, so it doesn't even really have to consciously think about it. So our brains do that on a day-to-day basis, where all of the choices that we make mostly are unconscious choices, and our brain is deciding them because, yes, it's what it knows, but it's also fulfilling a truth that we believe either about ourselves or a concept, our perception about stuff. We are making decisions on a day-to-day basis that fulfill those underlying beliefs and thoughts. And if you find that you're always trying to start new programs, workout programs, nutrition programs, and it just feels so hard to stick to them, or like I said, maybe you revert back to old habits shortly after, that is because your identity, what you believe to be true about yourself, isn't aligned with that. So your brain wants to make choices that fulfill that belief, and that is why it doesn't feel aligned and feels so hard to do this new thing, because your brain is designed to basically prove that whatever our beliefs are, it's designed to believe that they're true, regardless of if they actually are or if they actually are reasonable or not. That's not its job to decide. Its job is to basically prove every single day that those things are true, which is why if you are trying to make a change, you have to start with those beliefs and those thoughts that you unconsciously believe, and figure out whether or not they're going to be serving you, or whether or not a lot of, I'm sure if you're familiar with therapy, you know that a lot of therapists will talk about childhood and bring up childhood, and that's because a lot of our beliefs and truths that we have about ourselves were either learned behavior from when we were a child, or happened during a traumatizing event, and that's just what we believe from then on, or they're just adopted beliefs from our parents or from adults that we grew up around in our life. And the same thing kind of works in that way, where we have to really take a second to identify these thoughts and beliefs and create awareness around them. Because like I said, we're so on autopilot at this point that we're not even aware or questioning why we think some of the things that we think. So when I walk my clients through this, we dive really deep into spending some time on creating that awareness and how to do that, and what types of triggers go on, so that like our brain put these triggers in place in order to fulfill these beliefs that we have about ourselves. And it's important that you take the time to do this, because like I said, if you're trying to do programs that aren't like truly aligned with what your underlying beliefs are, it's always going to feel extra hard to stick to them long term. It's almost like putting a band-aid on the situation, but I'm sure you've heard the saying, we can only go as far as we grow. That is really applicable in this situation, because our mindsets are so powerful that our brain is always working against us in these situations. But if your brain is that powerful enough to make sure you stay the same and fulfill those beliefs over and over again, imagine what our brain could do if we believed like the opposite, believed in the things that where we actually want to go. It would be so much easier to make these lifestyle changes, and it would just feel like so much easier to do instead of feeling like this hard thing that we have to do. But you have to take this extra step to really identify these things before you can even start to reprogram them and really redefine your new identity and what you want your new lifestyle to look like. So it's a whole process, but it definitely can be done, and it's not as hard or far away as it may seem. You just have to start with your thoughts and your beliefs first. If you found this helpful and you want some one-on-one guidance on how to specifically identify those current beliefs and the triggers that you have already in place right now, you can book a one-on-one session with me. It's free, and we will dive into how to do this, and that way you can decide, really become aware of these things, and then be able to implement new habits and a plan in place to really reprogram those thoughts and beliefs, and finally move forward, so that whatever program that you decide to do, it feels effortless and it's going to be easier to do, because you've identified that piece that's been holding you back and causing you to self-sabotage this whole time. So I will attach the link if you want to book a free call where we go over how to discover your triggers. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you want to hear more topics like this one. And I'm over on Instagram a lot and sharing free tips and value as far as regarding your mindset around health and fitness, and helping you with your body image struggles. So go ahead and follow me over on Instagram. I'll attach the link down in the description. And then I also have a free Facebook page if you're looking for additional accountability and support in a community. I will go ahead and attach that link as well. And I also have some free resources that I send to my email list. So if you want to get on that email list as well, and get those weekly tips and free content through there, I will leave a free download for you to go ahead and download, and then you'll automatically be able to receive some of the free tips that I share on a regular basis with my list. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any ideas for future videos, go ahead and leave a comment.